Hey everybody, this is the second episode of How to Lose the Booze with Wendy, and I just want to say I'm really grateful for all the support that you guys have for the first one. So rolling on into the second one today, I've got a special guest, and this woman means a hell of a lot to me. She worked at Centacor, which is the long-term treatment center I was in Baton Rouge. She was a graduate, then she got on staff, and now she's here to talk to us today about ways we can learn to fill the void. I know a lot of us have had problems with this hole that's in our heart, and that's where we shove the drugs and alcohol, but there's going to be a lot of other ways that you can learn, hopefully after this video, to go ahead and fill that void. So Carla, thank you for coming on today, and
You.
about yourself.
I love you, and I'm so excited to be here too. And you look beautiful as always.
Thank you.
So about myself, I lived in my addiction for about 20 years. I just remember I didn't even know who I was. So to try to fill, trying to fill the void, first of all, I had to find out who I was.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I had to, so you have to find out who you are first, which takes a long time. I spent 2 years as a resident in Centacor and a year as an intern. I spent 3 years inside Centacor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it took me a long time to figure out even, why I was doing what I was doing,
Right.
to reflect on it, and to, it took a lot of reflection. So the main thing, and even working there after all the treatment, working there for so long. I worked there for 5 years too. It would have been 5 years on May 10th.
Right.
So that was even more growth. I mean, it's that place, I changed everything about me,
Me too.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And I just remember, like, whenever I left the internship, I'm not going to talk about too much of my background. The bottom line was, 20 years of addiction. I became the person that would do anything for drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I became everything that I swore I would never be.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And, and so processing that and getting back, just to be able to look in the mirror and say, you got to get to that point where you can look in the mirror and say, okay, I kind of like you. You're all right. You're not so bad. Huh?
It takes a while to get to that point.
Yes.
Dig through all the nasty stuff that you've accumulated, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I had one of my main things was men filling the void.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my biggest things was I was not going to get into a relationship for at least a year, because I knew the void was there. It was there, even after I left, even after I moved out on my own. And I was kind of feeling it with Centacor still, with work. And work is not the thing to fill it with.
Mm-hmm.
Not now. If work is fun for you, then fine.
Yeah.
But when work is very hard, because that's not an easy place to work. It's not easy working with addicts, especially in that type of environment when you're like, the principal. Basically, I was for like, a year and a half, the program manager. So anyway, I started looking for ways to make me happy. I just started, and I was open. I was just very, very open. I hadn't been in a relationship. I did that on purpose so that I wouldn't fill it with no men. And I was just very open to just I was very open-minded, and the biggest thing is don't fill it with people. Do not fill the void with people. People will always, not always hurt you, but people are not dependable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything, you can't control them. You can only control you. So it's like, so definitely not not with people. Um, and and I feel like you have to have that sense of self-love and
Oh,
the sense of self-worth, and that feels it. That filled it for me for a while, and it still is. But when um, then all of a sudden I got a client. I might as well give a shout out to Brennan.
oh, Brennan.
Because he's my dude, man. He we just were talking one day, and he just starts talking about frequency and vibration and how everything's connected, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, let me look at that, right? So it was a brief conversation that changed my whole life, changed the whole path for me.
Nice.
And for the next year, I literally didn't watch TV, I didn't listen to music. All I did was, I was obsessed with this. I was obsessed with this new magic that I found in the world, with this new, you know, endless possibilities. And like that, you know, I know in my heart that, um, that I'm beautiful and I'm divine, and so are you, and so is everyone else. And that, uh, that definitely feels it now. I'm very grateful for finding what I found. And you know, it takes a lot you got to change the way you think. Just
Mhm.
like Cinecore, you have to change the way you think.
Yeah.
This is a whole nother flippage
Yeah.
of the thinking process, right?
Mhm.
You know, and it's the same. I mean, I know that you are, and a lot of people fill the void with church, with God,
Mhm.
or with church, or and that's basically what I did too, just in a different aspect.
Right.
But that, see, that's not human. That's not a person, God, or you know. So you can. That's okay. That type of stuff is, because that's never going to let you down. You
Yeah.
know.
I think it's important for people to know too, like, you know how they say you switch from one addiction to another. So yeah, I quit doing drugs and alcohol, but I now I go to the gym a lot, or I do this a lot, or I cook a lot, or I work out a lot, and you know, it's whatever. If you're going from one addiction to the other, you're still not facing the things that you need to face. So in the reality of it is, you still have to heal whatever it is that drove you to the addiction in
Mhm.
the first place. Because without that being, you know, reconciled and having the ability to grow from it, you're always going to run into a different direction just so that you can not own up to the things that you need to own up to. So don't let that void be filled with a whole bunch of things.
Mhm.
Fill it with something that's going to make you love yourself, and if you have to fill it with forgiveness and with healing and with spiritual growth. And
Acceptance.
yeah, acceptance,
Yeah.
huge, huge. You know, like, you're not going to be happy with a lot of things that you did in your addiction and alcoholism. Nobody is. We were some pieces of crap, self-admittingly, you know.
Yes.
But that's where the forgiveness comes from. I mean, we all make mistakes. We're all human. We're all going to continue to do some pretty gnarly stuff in our lives. But as long as you can and see it for what it is, admit that it was wrong, and then try not to do it again, there's a big difference of continuously going through life manipulating people, you know.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a healthy way to
Yeah.
fill the void. Don't just like try to deny the fact that something's in there that needs some help, because that's
Yeah.
the basis of all the problems with addiction or alcoholism or whatever. You know, there's something in here that's wrong, and we got to get to that root issue. So
That's funny because, what was I? Oh, I was doing my online class. So I'm training to be a rapid transformational therapist. So it's a hypnosis, a
still,
type of hypnosis. And so last night I was on a training, and the guy that was the guest speaker on the training said that you will continue to go, just what you just said, basically in different words. You'll continue, if you have something inside that's not fixed or not healed or whatever,
mhm,
you, the God, the universe, whatever, will make sure that you have plenty of opportunities that will come up to change it. So you'll go through all kinds of more stuff in, you know, in your life, until you can finally fix that, until you can finally heal that aspect of you.
mhm.
That's a trip, because I was just I just heard that last night, and you said it too. I love synchronicities.
And I know that you're really big into gratitude, like me.
Mm.
So why don't you tell us, like, in what ways throughout the day can you reach out for a moment of gratitude to help somebody get by?
Um, I mean, I'll wake up with it. And even and because I mean, of course, I get in moods. Everybody gets in moods. I don't care how spiritual or whatever you are, you're gonna get in moods and get in a bad mood or whatever. But I will just quickly snap out of it and go into gratitude. So anytime I'm thinking any type of negative thoughts or not appreciating something or not grateful for where I'm at or whatever, I will quickly snap out of it and just start. I don't care. Yesterday I was in the car on the way to the gym. I don't even remember what I was like, whatever about. I think it was like the traffic was sucked and da 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 da. And I just said, thank you for this car. Thank
Yeah.
you for the gas that's in this car. Thank you for the trees that are, thank you for this road. Thank you for the gym. Thank you for the clothes. Thank you, for the machine. Thank you that I know how to work out. Thank you that I have control over my body and my energy. And thank you that I can go to the gym and I can just manipulate my body whatever way that I would like to. And thank you. And then all of a sudden you feel better.
Yeah.
Feel better all of a sudden. And throughout the day. But the biggest thing is that you have to have some awareness of what you're thinking about. Most of us go through the day, just like,
Got it. Yeah.
hypnotic. Yes, that's exactly what hypnotized. Just the subconscious mind is just living, and you're not at all. Your consciousness is not living at all. It's
Mhm.
just a program, and you're just
Just
keeping going.
existing through the day.
I remember that, and I don't want to ever do that again. No more. No more just existing,
Yeah.
you know. And I've got my hand on my heart because that's where the void is filled. This
Hmm.
is where the void is filled, you know. And I'm so passionate about living life fully now and living. I mean, my intention is to be a traveling therapist, I want to go see the world. Experiences are important to me now. I want to go and see the world. I'm gonna go and see the world. I'm gonna, you know,
There you go.
I'm just, I'm, I'm, I'm in a state of just bliss whenever I think of what the future can hold, you
Hmm.
know?
And isn't it nice to now, when we think about things that we want to do or want to have or want to be or want to experience, they're actually like the opportunity for them to happen in real life is actually there now, as opposed to where we used to be, where we would cry and like wish and dream about the stuff that would never happen because we were too high or too
Yeah,
drunk, too much of a slave to the demons that
yeah,
were down. I mean, the
yes.
sense of freedom that comes with being in recovery is just, it's
Mm,
paramount to everything. And that's probably one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this, is because I know what it's like to be in chains, and I know what it's like to be freedom, and
yes.
I have such a want and desire to get the word out there about this. And I know
Oh,
it's gonna be hard, and I know it's gonna be tough, but we've spent so much of our lives ruining it and
mm,
just bringing it down. So it's gonna take some hard work to get over to
that's
the other side. You know what I mean? You got to get in
yeah,
there, do the nitty gritty, like nasty, just
yeah. It's
painful
good.
work. It is good. It's good.
Release that shit.
And I know people are scared to go through it, but
Uh,
with the right people and the right guidance and the right avenue of help.
mhm.
So would you agree with me in saying that, because I wanted to do a little bit talk about long term versus short term. Okay, we're not going to get into a big like rehab debate, but
Right, right.
I, what would you say is the difference between somebody going to a 30-day and then someone actually going to a long-term
Everything. Everything is the
one?
difference. I didn't even grow up for like a year being in treatment. I was still acting like an ass in treatment for the whole first year. I was terminated from treatment after a year of being there. So I didn't even, after that, finally I grew up. So there's no way in the world, if I needed 2 years of therapeutic treatment and then a year of kind of work in the, and kind of, because I was scared. Everything I had ever done in my life, I messed up. Every time I would do something good, I would mess it up. And I was like, oh God, how long is this gonna last? I'm going to get an apartment. I've had an apartment before, but never for more than like 6 months. And then we get evicted for whatever reason or whatever. Um, it takes a long time. If you've been in addiction for 20 years, you're not going to get better, not even in a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's just not, I mean, unless there was something completely different about your addiction than mine, which probably not. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
If you want to truly heal, do as long as you can in treatment. Unless you've been on drugs for a year and you got it depends on how
The level of
the
severity.
level of screwedness you
Yeah.
are. I really wanted to say something totally different, but I didn't.
I know. There is this long spectrum from how deep in it you can be. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
tell me about the Reiki healing.
I'm just it's just clearing, because our body, we have an energy field around our body that's bigger than our body. Our body is just a little piece of us.
Okay.
The energy in and around it that flows around it gets blocks and gets, especially from, years of using.
Mm.
And it just gets all blocked up, the energy in it. And you be walking around, going to the store or wherever you are, and you'll collect energy from other people too, negative energy. So you have to, yeah, you got to clear it. And me, I'm like I'll take I'm a little weird, but I love my weirdness is just perfect to me. I'll take incense and just, because that clears it, and I'll just, you know, not even get it on my body, but put the incense, the sage or Palo Santo or whatever all over around me, that kind of thing. That clears your energy too, and it'll make you instantly feel better. Instantly, you'll feel better. But Reiki is, bottom line is, you're just being it's almost like you're being a vessel of light, that the energy will come in through your head. And anyone can do this. I'm not special. Anyone can do this. You just have, I'm not special. Anyone can do it. You just have to learn it. It's very, very simple.
Okay.
It really is. But once you learn it and learn how, you have to just learn how to be very, very present. And you have to be aware of what the energy feels like. Like I did one the other day that had never done this before, and so his energy, it was like really, really magnetic, like maybe this far off his body was like super magnetic, like it was like a magnet. I was like, ooh, this is harsh. So you just kind of mix it up and make some of it go away, and then the energy will come through you. And he literally told me it looked like light was coming off my hands.
Wow.
I was like, what? Seriously? He's like, were you using a flashlight or something? I'm like, no. But anyway, it's powerful. It's powerful. You learn what it feels like when it's cleared, when it's not cleared. You can lift it and move it, and
Dang.
it's just very cool. I mean, learn it just for fun. You can learn it just to do on yourself or your family or whatever. But this is something that I've noticed that I have this is a talent of, like, I've found a talent, and I can actually feel it and move it, and then I'm like, oh, okay, there it is. Okay, now we're good. It's
That's hella
energy is everything. Everything is energy,
You
you
know,
know.
I know I was telling you this the other night, but you are so different. You're so different and you seem so much at peace
Mm,
and like just
I,
flowy and natural and like calm and tranquil, and that the way that you are is how I aspire to be. And
oh,
I'm serious, and I know
thank you.
I speak for all the girls in our group that you definitely. I mean, looking at you and seeing your walk and your stages of recovery, like that told me if she can do it, I can do it. You were the first woman that I looked at and said, she's got it and I want it. So whatever she's doing, that's what I'm going to do too. And I
Oh,
really appreciate God putting you in my life. And, you
thank you.
know, me and you both have a strong want and desire for women to learn how to love themselves again and how to know your worth, and and how the healing and the growing is only going to happen once you can just come to a place where you know and love yourself, and then let everything just be as it is.
Mm,
So
that's good.
now that we're wrapping up and we're coming to an end, what's one thing that you want to say to get the word out to all those people that are still struggling and need help?
Um, just give up.
Yeah.
If you want it, then give up and go. If you want it, go get it. If you, I mean, you gotta want it. You gotta want it. But life can be so amazing. Life can be so. I just got back custody of my child. She's 15.
Amazing.
She's been at my mother's for 13 years, and
Yeah,
she's living with me now. I'm like, this is just. I mean, I've been clean for what, 7 years now.
that's
So
awesome.
after that, it takes time. It's not overnight. None of this is going to be overnight,
Right.
but it's so worth it. It's worth all the struggle. It's worth all the process groups, all the crying, all the fighting with the other girls, all the, it's worth all of that. Every little piece of your recovery, all the people in it are there. So it's purpose. It's for
Yeah,
purpose. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you.
I want to get back with you probably next month and we'll come up with another topic. And I love you so much and I'm really grateful for you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm grateful for you as well.
All right, Carla, we'll talk to you later.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.